Well, my story starts in the years after World War I. The sleepy, bucolic world of rural America was beginning to change, and a man named Henry Ford was to blame. When he invented the first Model T automobile, he put America on wheels, and as more roads were being built and cars were improved, people who had never traveled farther than the outskirts of their own towns started traveling by the thousands. Roads couldn't be built fast enough, and suddenly family motor trips were all the rage. Americans were a pioneer stock, naturally adventurous, and soon began driving all over the country. Hello, my name is Willis Ralph Wilson. I grew up and graduated from Westfield Academy here in Westfield and attended Bryant and Stratton Business College in Buffalo, earning a business degree. Born in 1902. Growing up in this time, the real horsepower was king, and I saw the direction beginning to change. Big time. Motor transportation was moving in on the horse. However, stations where you could fill up your car with gasoline or buy spare parts or fix any car problems were few and far between. And at this time, in many rural communities, gasoline was being sold in open 2-gallon containers in small family-owned grocery stores, like a Joe Ricketts red and white store here in Westfield and Main Street. Joe could go in the backroom store, fill up a 2-gallon container, and carry it through the store to the front counter to his customers. Well, in 1920, there were 15,000 gas stations in the entire country. By 1933, the number had jumped to 170,000, but there was still a need for more. In the late 20s, I traveled to Dearborn, Michigan to work for the Ford Motor Company, working in the paint booth, putting the shiny black finishes on the cars. I fell in love with working with cars. And I also fell in love when married a pretty young Westfield teacher named Jessie M. Campbell in 1929. A lot of opportunity comes when economic conditions are poor. To find the need and pursue the dream of fulfilling that need can open doors to economic and personal success while helping others. It was clear to me that the automobile was the future, and what better business to get into than owning a gas station. I had the vision that nothing, not even depression, would stop the growth of the automobile and the need for gas stations everywhere. So I made the decision to start my own gas station business back here in Westfield. Early on, I realized that the people of this depression couldn't buy brand new parts for their vehicle repair. So I purchased a wrecker to go out and pick up used cars from auto accidents, bringing them back to the station, stripping them of all their good parts, and selling them at a greatly reduced price. It was at this point that the size of our business doubled. This sign out front now read, Wilson Benson, New and Used Auto Parts. Bill Benson was a neighbor, friend of mine, who helped me get the business started and was a good fit for a partner. By this time, my family grew to 3 children, Nancy Jane, Ralph Willis, and Richard George Wilson. We lived in a brown shingled 2-story house at 20 Union Street. We moved up to the homestead at 20 Bliss Street in 1945. After my mother, Alfie Rose Wilson, had come up to this blissful place with the Father of Heaven. My children were now getting to the age that they wanted to help in the business. So at 8 and 10 years old, they were changing tires, building clutches, pumping gas, changing oil, and of course, giving customers fine service when they pulled up to get some fuel for their car. Wash the windows, check the oil, battery, radiator fluid, checking and filling the tires, sweeping out floorboards with a whisk broom. And of course, trying to sell a quart of oil. For some of those tasks, Dick and Ralph had to use a shop stepladder In 1943, the price of a gallon of gas was 17.9 cents, and a quart of oil was 30 cents. And I was also a village mayor for 4 terms, served in the fire department, and was part of the 1st EMT division of the department, and other county and state organizations. Well, I became ill and had to withdraw from work and other activities. It was hard to leave the people and things I loved to serve and be part of. And finally, in 1963, I passed away and joined my other family and friends with my Father and Savior in heaven. So that's my story. I love having this chance to be with you tonight, and have a very pleasant evening. And sir, you look a lot like my son, Ralph Willis Wilson.
Thank you. Yeah. We have a resemblance.
What is your name?
David Wilson.
Oh, you're my grandson.
That's right. We never met.
Well, now we have.
Yeah. I was about 1 when you...
1.
Yep.
Very nice to meet you, godson.
You too. Thank you.
Right.